And that's actually fairly common.
Yeah. Well,
You
Dune
want to
has
be in the family business or no?
Dune has a theory about the third generation. That's when it goes to shit. You got the guy that built it up. You
Yeah.
got the guy that watched him build it up. Then you got the third generation, and
see, and this is why you don't just give your $1 billion to your kids,
right, and that's not what
because look at
happened
the
here.
Getty kids. Look at the Getty kids. They're a bunch of slackers. They're a bunch of drug users. They're a bunch of
Right,
do nothings. They're not involved in a company. They just have the money.
right. I don't know. All I know is the third generation was GM of the one location, which was the main location, and I don't know how he got to that. For all I know, he worked his way up the ladder and then decided, well, I'm bored with this. But because he was still there when I started. What was it?
Jim A.
No, David.
Oh, yeah, the next generation.
Right, the third generation was, and that's so he didn't. He had a high management position, but it wasn't handed over to him. So it was,
See,
and by then it was already sold.
The exception is that the Ford Motor Company, are they on their third generation or fourth generation that are involved with the company? No. The latest one, I think, is Bill Ford. He was CEO for a while, and then something happened, and he backed off. They put in somebody else. Maybe the board didn't like him.
Yeah, well, that's like I think that's happened with Disney. Like the last surviving Disney is not on good terms with Disney, because Disney's a pretty rotten, evil company. Which is why I'm going there for vacation in October.
Yay! Disney World?
Yeah.
Good. That's a cool place.
I already booked my airfare before that all skyrocketed.
So you're going to check out some swampland in Florida?
Yeah, check out some swampland in Florida. There we
go. See how well it's developed?
Yeah.
Yeah. See how many unvaccinated people you can come across. Whoops! Did you go on live yet? You're live.
Not my problem.
Yeah. Oh, by then, the unvaccinated people will all be dead.
I doubt it. Not my problem. I'm just going there to have a good time.
Right.
Oh,
wow.
Life's going back to normal, and I bought my
tickets.
And, booked my airfare, and I'm going in October, as long as there's not a hurricane that decides to ruin my vacation and make this all a waste of money. And speaking of waste of money, we got Sparky No, kidding. Remember, my transitions never make sense, but we got Sparky Toaster in the house, and well, actually, a Sparky toaster would be a waste of money. You go buy a brand new toaster, you plug it in, it sparks, and it burns down the house. See, that's where I'm going. I made it work.
See, the thing is, he's the perfect example. His name is the perfect example of why there's no such thing as unattended toasting.
Yes.
If it starts sparking and catching on fire, you pull the plug immediately.
Yeah. The toaster is the first thing that's going to burn down your house.
Right. Back in this was the mid 80s, the standard thing was line printers, and they worked well. But, once in a while they would jam up. And one of the senior guys that I knew who had a lot of experience with computers, he was retired. He says, there's no such thing as unattended printing.
Yeah, that too. And Sparky approving of my backpedaling. Okay, you backpedaled and made it work. See, that's how I do transitions. I talk and then I talk first and then make it make sense later.
Incidentally, now I don't have to go lean way over onto the computer because I have this magnifying glass.
Oh, nice.
Cool, right? So I can read now. I can read what Sparky Toaster says.
Now, mind you, there's also laundry can go wrong as well. Like this lovely picture that whenever I need to chuckle,
holy mother,
whenever I need to chuckle, I bring this one up.
Oh my!
Today was the first time I did my laundry. It did not go well.
There was an episode of Top Gear where they turned a minivan into a convertible, right? And put a cloth top on it, and it had all these pieces and parts and stuff like that. They drove it through a car wash and decided, oh crap, we've got to get out of it. So they're all escaping the thing because everything was breaking, water was going all over the place, they were getting soaked, so they ran out of there, and the thing caught on fire.
Oh, that's
a car wash on fire is not supposed to ever happen.
A car wash on fire. The car wash with the water and this is like that scene in the IT Crowd where they're talking about how the guy was dating this girl and her parents died in a fire. Yep, it was a fire at what was it? Sea Parks. Yeah, a fire at Sea Parks. And they're all like, huh? A fire at Sea Parks?
Yeah, right.
With the whales and everything. Aren't there like big, large tanks of water there?
Right. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Like, what? How the hell? Right?
Yeah. How does a car wash
on fire? How the hell? Yeah.
How does a car wash go up in flames? That's of course what I showed a picture of was the dryer. So it wasn't the washing machine going up in flames.
Right. I mean, it would be funnier if it was the washing machine.
Yes, if someone lost their house, their possessions, and everything they owned for a fire started by a washing machine, that would be hilarious. But a dryer, tragedy. So that right there is the key difference.
And we appreciate the Korean babe learning to pole dance.
Yes, Sparky Toaster left a Korean babe learning to pole dance. But are you getting
laughs like this, though, Sparky?
Well, you could always hope that pole's going to, unhinge from the ceiling, sending the Korean babe flying into a wall or floor. There's always that to hope for.
It could be fun. It could be.
And there could be a wardrobe malfunction. Damn. So there's that. Now, have you gotten a commercial? Because we must know who to credit.
Okay. So in my background, I'm now on Twitch with I got into the wrong show.
So you're putting our show in the background so that people watching our show can also watch our show at the same time. I got
question marks on everything here. Let me try to see what's going wrong here.
Huh.
I don't know what a question mark means. Thank you, Twitch.
So Twitch gave you a question.
My signal is probably too poor. Let me change change routers.
There is that. And now Sparky Toast pointed out that she's taking a break now, but you could monitor her if you please. And there you go. You could put the pole dancer up on your green screen. The link's right there. So I mean, there now her stream is brought to you by Subway, which they're showing. I think it's Subway. No, Credit Karma. It looked like it was a Subway commercial because they're making a pretty tasty tuna sub sandwich. And no, it's a Credit Karma commercial. Because if you get credit, you could buy a sandwich for free.
Ta-da! Best Buy.
It's Best Buy again?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even have to change the banner. How about that? Best Buy has really decided they like our show.
With Intel.
And they're sticking with us.
Great. They probably don't actually give a shit, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, actually, if they knew that we had three people viewing, they would say, there's no freaking way we're sponsoring that.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it because we don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we roll. So, anyways, yeah, she is on break right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and not share that screen. But we'll have to keep an eye out for this pole dancer that Sparky is bringing to our attention, and maybe Sparky can watch us just sit and stare at a screen for 2 hours.
Boy, that'd be kind of funny.
That would be
these guys on the screen not saying anything, but they're drooling.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that would be bad.
That would be quite bad. But anyways, so yeah, we were just talking about 5-Hit Dude writing in Please Do. Yes.
Doing?
So we were talking about the fact that I decided not to fly out to California for the Mexican dinner with the former coworkers of Tharco with 2 points. One, I really can't justify flying out there for a $35 taco dinner. And two, I only liked about 70% of the people I worked with at Tharco. So, and with my luck, I'm going to be filled with a room full of the 30%. But Brian pointed out that the boss man, Dale, is going to be there, and we have no idea what he's been up to since he was let go.
It would be nice.
This is a guy that started working for Tharco in Seattle as a high school job and worked his way up to the head of IT, and that was like the only employer he worked for when they decided they didn't need a head of IT in Tharco anymore.
Hopefully he's gets a job with another company as an IT manager.
And no one. And now Brian has tapped into all the Tharco gossip, but Dale hasn't kept in. I mean, well, now usually Mary Ann's the source of the IT gossip.
So Mary Ann's not on Facebook, so she actually doesn't come up with that much. But she had my phone number and texted me with the information about this this Mexican lunch.
So you haven't really talked to Mary Ann a whole lot then. In the
no,
past
this is the first time in quite a while. You know, when they yanked the equipment out of the Tharco location here, my Fong sent a text with some pictures of all the empty space to me, Dale, Mary Ann.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
So you just haven't.
So yeah, Dale was on that list, and he may have said, wow or something. But I didn't get any other information.
See, the thing about Mary Ann is she loves the gossip, but it's not all that important who she gossips to, as long as there's someone to gossip to, and that's
She's a secretary. Is that what it is?
No.
Because that's how secretaries in every division in college works. They don't care who they gossip to. Something happens on one side of the campus, everybody knows because all the secretaries talk to each other. That's how that works. That's how that works.
So, but Mars, do you think in this category of secretary, which there really aren't any anymore?
Oh yeah, there are
in companies.
They're called executive assistants now, but that's not what Mary Ann was.
And there's very few of those. Right.
It depends on the company you work for. There's a lot of them at the past few companies I've worked for.
But a lot of companies have been getting rid of them. They figure, hey,
not
this
the ones
guy
I've been working for.
This overpaced guy can type his own memos. Because we'd rather have him do that.
The guys making the decisions do not want to respond to their own emails. Trust me on this.
No, that's why they write the emails to others. They don't want to do it.
Here's my point. Point. So people in customer service are taking on that role of the gossipers. So when you say secretary, you got to include the person in customer service. No offense to anybody in customer service. In fact, I've done that job as well. But that's, the way it goes.
Yeah. No, well, there's gossip anywhere and everywhere. But But Mary Ann's job was, she had like 1 foot in the customer service world, 1 foot in the IT world. And I guess she kind of bridged that gap. As far as
and she was also very
the programming
friendly with people in the accounting departments.
Yeah,
although there was a lot of people that had been in customer service moved into accounting, but she also knew the accounting apps.
Right. So she was involved in SAP stuffs without coding, but
Second
she worked
audio
with the coders.
programming.
Right.
SAP, second audio programming.
Yes, she translated all our text into Spanish.
Hey, I'm glad to hear that.
Oh.
Sparky Toaster writing in, oh, damn. She's finished pole dance practice for the day, so I guess Johnny's show will have to do. Yeah, she is.
So we jumped up a notch.
She's going roaming around her around a building. I guess is this her building or is she visiting someplace? I don't know what she's doing, but she's not pole dancing. So
if Brian gets a pole, I'm leaving. Just saying.
But this camera angle does, every now and then. Anyways, yeah. Back to the show. So yeah, but
she must be going back to work.
Must be. So Brian, Marianne and I always got along fine, never a problem. We didn't talk a whole lot though, because I sat in my cube and Marianne sat in the office that she shared with Brian, and then Brian moved to Singapore, which made the commute a bit of an issue, so he retired. And so then Marianne had the office all to herself. And every morning I was in first and Marianne was in second. And Marianne would get her coffee and she'd walk over to my cubicle and start telling me about what's going on with who, what, and where. And I was like, wow, I've worked here for 5 years and you've never done this. This is interesting.
Well, and the thing is,
it was hilarious. I loved it. It was great. It was like, oh my God, we should have been doing this for years.
In the number of years that I shared an office with her, she realized that she didn't need to talk to me before 10 a.m. or before I got my coffee.
So she...
Because that would have been a pointless endeavor.
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person if that's what you needed to hear.
Interesting that... okay, because she would catch me first thing. I mean, but I've already had my coffee by then because she.
Yeah.
Now Squib Steve is in the chat right there. He has arrived.
Hey,
I don't know if he's planning on joining in or not. But always fun to have Squib Steve around. If we ever need a lame joke, I do have the groan button ready. So. But we do need to officially open the show, don't we? We need to, because once again, you're tuned in to everyone's favorite internet radio show.
Insert title here.
The show that changes names so frequently, we just put a placeholder in. And I'm here with Brian Blues and Sir Mars, and apparently we're going to talk about workplace shenanigans, maybe?
Yeah, but hang on a second. Now, Scripsy says he can't figure out how to get in, but he has that link. Are you into that link on Twitter? The PM link.
No. Let's see. Let's try to figure out how to get in with video. The hardest part of learning to ride a bicycle is the pavement.
Oh, ouch!
Let me tell you, I had a concrete patio growing up, the pavement's not the hardest part, unfortunately.
You just learn how to bounce off the pavement. Remember, when you fall, you roll. I mean, come on, even I learned that.
Here's the thing, I actually never fell on the concrete patio. Because I still had training wheels on my bike when we moved out of that house. And then I took the training wheels off my bike on pavement.
So here is a rule of bicycling, okay?
Yeah.
Every bicycle that you own, you're going to fall at least once.
Oh, yeah.
Now, back when Carl was working at Tarco... I got a
scar on my leg from one of those, but yeah.
Okay, so when Carl was working at Tarco, he'd bring his bike, so I bring mine, and we would bicycle at lunch, right?
Right.
Who would win?
Huh?
Who'd win? Don't tell me you guys didn't race.
That was probably 10 years. No, we were just riding, and we'd go down to the shore and go along, the east shore of the bay.
Who leisurely rides their bike? Especially with a friend, you got to race, right?
No, we just rode. This was friendly bike riding, and we could kind of chat it up and.
Did
cruise.
You have ramps? Did you jump them or?
No, well, I'm old, so we didn't do that.
Didn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So
okay, so
does your bicycle have one really big wheel and one really small wheel? Is that?
No, these were his was a mountain bike, and mine is a what they call a hybrid or a comfort bike.
A comfort bike.
Oh, those are great to jump.
Oh yeah, no, it would. I didn't have the springiness of the mountain bike, which I kind of wish I had a mountain bike.
Uh-huh.
But anyway,
I had a mountain bike. Never took it to any mountains. I took it out on the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Well,
though.
the idea is that you could take it off road because you've
I
got
used to do that all the
wider
time. I love my mountain
tires with knobbies on them.
bike. Yeah.
Anyway, so have you ever ridden a bike along the East Bay shoreline there?
Me?
You know, off of Hayward?
No, I've never
Mars?
ridden a bike. No. I was visually impaired in Hayward, so I couldn't really do it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I would've.
Details,
so
minor
along
details.
the shore, there's one part. There's this one little. I'm going to use the word plateau. It's a lot of flat area that's raised up, and there's all these tufts of grass on it.
Ooh, you gotta
So we
jump
went on
those.
there to ride the right bikes through the tufts of grass. You know, whoa! Anyway, so I was up there, and that's where I had my one fall. And you know, when you fall on a big old tuft of grass, it doesn't hurt at all. In fact, you're laughing your ass off.
Oh.
So that was my long story.
No, but Brian, you just gotta learn when you fall off your bike, you roll. Don't hurt yourself. Of course, I'm gonna tell you, the first 15 years of my life, I had no skin on my knees at all,
Oh,
especially as a child. Yeah, I was a kid. I rode my bike, jumped ramps, ran my
Yeah.
bike off a dock into the water. You know, I used to do all that crap.
Squib Steve writing in, my dog will chase anything on a bicycle. That's why I took away her bike. That one gets the drum fill.
Oh, that one is a winner.
That one, I'll give it to you. And Sparky, remembering from a past show, no, Sparky wrote in, I have an e-bike, Magnum Summit, love it, helps with the hills, which I have a lot of. And then Sparky also remembering...
It's got a cheater bike.
Sparky remembering Johnny had a girl that stalked him on his bike. Remember that from a previous stream. That's right. Good old Christina, who found out I was not allowed to be near her, so she chased me off the road with her bike. So
Sparky
Did
has
she
a
have
cheater
like a
bike.
court order that kept you away from her?
no, I had a parental order that I was not to go near her, and she found out about
Oh.
that. And so she exploited that because she's like, well, if he's not allowed to be near me, if I ride my bike near him, he has to get away from me. Which, mind you, who gives a kid that power?
Who
Exactly.
listens to the parental units up from a bicycle?
Well, it worked because my mom called me in because and
Doesn't
she's
matter.
like,
I'd say, yo, mom, I'm good. Not my fault. She riding next to me. I'm gonna freaking ride
right,
my
but when
bike.
mom says you can't go outside, you can't go outside, and she acknowledged it wasn't my fault, but she also didn't want me to get in trouble for injuring Christina, who was younger than me, by plowing her over with my bike while she was getting in my way. And she's just like, look, just stay inside, just do whatever. But I was pissed because I didn't want to be inside.
Gators, my feeling is if she's gonna ride in front of you and you run her over, that's on her.
It is on her, but her
Yeah.
parents might not see it that way, and my parents just don't want to deal with that shit. So just don't deal with that shit.
You
Oh,
should've
by the
said,
way, we
"Dude,
have
Did you see the sweet air I got off of riding over your bike? It was great."
There was some bad blood between those families, but anyways, no,
Incidentally,
she was
we-
not
we
wanting
just got
Johnny
a-
Cake. She was
we
way
just
too
got a
young for
second
me.
Ad.
Yeah,
We got a second ad. Instant Karma Credit,
instant karma credit.
and you can get, since
a tuna
we're
sub
doing
with,
the ad,
with
you
that.
can get a free sandwich. I think it's with Subway.
Oh, I wouldn't.
That it looked like Subway anyway.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
that's-
sub though. Give me a freaking meatball sub or something. That's better. Don't give me freaking tuna. Tuna's nasty.
Oh, for
Well-
tuna.
Well, in fact, if
Where's
you've seen the
my
recent
tuna?
articles on the Subway tuna, they're saying it ain't tuna. We don't know what species it is, but it ain't tuna.
Oh, it's probably bottlenose dolphin. Those are delicious too, apparently.
I've
There we
never
go.
tried it.
Now, someone wants to know if we want to become famous, and no, we do not. I'm trying to stay off the radar here. That's the last thing I need is to get famous and have people stalking my house, trying to, have my kids, and then I got to call the police and they don't take me seriously. Who wants that? That is not. Yeah.
Gators?
Thank you, Brian.
Gators, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Why does the top of the thing he said the sounds are 1939?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Mars, because I just had a package that arrived here miraculously undamaged. And I say miraculously undamaged
Was it
because...
from Western Union, like in Back to the Future, where they sent the letter back from
No.
1800s to 1985?
It was sent U.S. mail, media mail, packaged in an Amazon box with a thin layer of bubble wrap wrapped around it. But at least it was in a tight box rather than a loose box. Remember a year or so ago, I had ordered tried to buy a set of 78s off of Discogs, and the dumbass. You're a dumbass. This dumbass took a set of 78s, put them in a box with air all around it for them to rattle around in, slapped a shipping label on it, and sent them to me, and I received a bunch of shellac shards and a cover that used to hold 78s.
See, what I would have done, Gators, you would have been pissed at me. I would have put it in a giant box, filled the entire bottom about 2-3 inches full of packing peanuts, put the records on top of that, and then fill like 5 or 6 more inches of packing peanuts.
Yes.
That would also piss you off, but it's hilarious.
Let me ask you this question: did you buy the insurance?
No, I did not, but that's okay because the seller's responsible.
Or did he buy the insurance?
She did not buy the insurance. She gave me a full refund and bitched about how difficult it is to sell the large 78 sets, to which I said, why don't you unlist them then? You know?
Exactly. Yeah, if you're too stupid to be able to do that, then don't try to sell them.
You know what? Yeah. She found the right clientele. The problem is she didn't know how to pack the box, and that's on her, honestly.
Yeah, because I was livid, and so I sent her. I felt like this was the type of thing that warranted a response of what kind of person would throw fine china in a box and ship it and expect it to get there all intact. And she's she called me an idiot for comparing old scratchy records to a box of fine china. And I'm like, it's not about the value, it's about the fragility of it. Those records are as fragile as china plates. You have to pack them like that.
We had I forget how it was shipped, but we had this crystal bowl that had been in a box, probably shipped someplace. It might have been with the movers, right? And we thought we had packed it perfectly, but when we opened it up, it was broken.
Oh.
And I mean, sometimes that happens, but
crap happens.
At least the right actions were taken. But when someone just throws a set of shellac records in a box without padding and hands it off to the USPS and thinks, oh, I'm sure they'll handle it real gentle, that person does not have very many brain cells
How
working.
they watch Ace Ventura: Pet Detective the first 5 minutes, honestly. Seriously.
That's all you need
I
to
had
do.
I had ordered, I think this is off eBay,
Yeah.
something flat like like a ruler or a triangle, flat plastic.
Okay.
This is not a big deal, but the guy just stuffed it in a big envelope and mailed it that way, and the guy at the post office folded the damn thing and broke it.
Oh, I've had records.
And then
come
when
like
I
that.
explained the problem to the guy, he just said, kind of, well, it's expensive to ship something, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but big damn deal. Yeah. The guy is going to buy it will pay for that shipping. I wanted a ruler that would work. It might be one of those templates. I can't remember what it was. A template that had these various symbols. But, and that was years ago, and I'm too old.
Squib Steve writing in, someone I've never met knew my name and said my show was the best show on TV in 2009. I'm famous, but I don't have an IMDb entry.
Oh.
Squib Steve. So Steve, what were they?
He deserves one because he's on a regular show with his telescope group.
Oh, he is on a show.
Yeah.
On an internet show.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's great.
Yeah. In fact, Steve, if you want to promote it, we'll turn you into the ad.
I've not yet been recognized.
We don't
public.
really care about Credit Karma or Best Buy because they don't know anything about us and that we only have 3 people watching.
I've not yet been recognized in public as Johnny Gators. That hasn't happened. But Gothard got recognized in public, although it was by the GIMP. So that doesn't really.
But on that IMDb, aren't you Johnny Great Gators?
I am Johnny Gators on the IMDb.
Yeah. See, so that's where you're famous.
So anyways, 5-Hit Dune writing in, instead of dusty old records, he got record dust. See, I could do it too. So. There we go.
Good. That was good.
And let's see, you should have told her one was worth over $1,000. Oh, and by the way, please send the other copy of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And anyways, yeah. So that set, I couldn't find another one like it. And I realized the problem. The problem is when I was trying to search for another set of those 78s, I was spelling Shostakovich's last name correctly. The thing is, apparently in the 1930s in the U.S., we didn't figure out how to spell Shostakovich's last name yet. And
I haven't figured out how to spell that yet either, so it's okay. I would have found everything by trying to search it. I would say I found all the scrap.
And so a thought occurred to me this past week. What if I tried to search eBay using the misspelling of Shostakovich's last name that set of 78s was released under? And sure enough, about 3 or 4 of those sets turned up, all under $10. So I private messaged a seller that was nearby in Pennsylvania. I said, have you sold 78s before? Do you know how to properly ship 78s? And he wrote back and said, oh yeah, I put 2 inches of cardboard on either side. I've never had a 78 break. I sell them all the time. I'm like, okay, good. Now, I should have asked for more details because he put 2 pieces of cardboard on either side of the binder of records. He didn't take the records out of their sleeves, put them in their own sleeves, put cardboard in between each, and then put really thick. That's the thing, is that it's a bad idea to ship an album of 78s in their original binder sleeve. I mean, there's plenty of room for. I thought for sure at least one of them was broken, but they all survived, and I now have a set of 78s of Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony as performed by the Philadelphia Orchestra under the leadership of Leopold Stokowski, as recorded in 1939.
Did we know how to spell his name?
Yeah, because I'm staring right at it right now.
Well, no. I mean, yeah. Or we assume that that's how his name is actually spelled.
Well, this was a U.S. release. Leopold Stokowski was recording in the U.S. They knew how to spell his name, but they didn't know how to spell the name of the Russian composer that they were performing the music of. But I thought that it was really cool to be able to buy a set of a 1939 recording of Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony because he composed it in 1937. So this was a brand new work of music. This is probably the first. This is not the first recording of the symphony because the Leningrad Symphony did a recording in 1938. Although finding Russian 78s at that is, quite the challenge, quite the rarity, quite valuable. So, Sparky Toast writing, am I to guess we will be hearing some of the 1939 records in the next 90 minutes? No, I just want you to see it. This is a prop here. I didn't even plug it in. That blue light's an illusion.
So what you're going to play some, call it needle drops from your acquisition last week or the week before?
I'm not equipped for those. I have the 78 stylus on. But
but that was supposed to be coming today.
Was that?
Yeah. We said we'll play it next time.
I don't remember what I was going to play next time.
You got
1939 music.
Was it a Pink Floyd thing that you got recently?
Oh, what did I get Pink Floyd recently? I got something.
It was something else. No, it was something else, I think.
Okay.
It was one of your oddball groups, not the Residents, but another group of crazy
Zappa.
music.
They got some Zappa.
I did get a bunch of Zappa. That's right. I got that Zappa box set. That's right. And
yeah. I knew it was something crazy.
Wow,
I really did a review of it, and I recommend it. And I listened to it, and I thought it was really good.
We were going to pop some clips. And thank you, Mars, for remembering, because I'm an old fart.
I don't remember. Sorry, Gators. I don't remember because I wasn't here last week. I just guessed.
All right. Well, Sparky Toaster wants to hear this.
I do too.
He's going to get out of here.
So, Mr. Mars.
What?
The Force is with you. That's how you knew.
So like I said, first of all, 5-Hit Dune is trying to figure out why we're talking about Shasta Cola, and no.
Actually, we're going to talk about Coca-Cola coffee.
No.
Yeah, I've drank all three of those. Those are
Shostakovich. I got the proper spelling on the screen right now. Dmitri Shostakovich was a Russian composer, and
I don't want to insult anybody, but is Russian one of those spitting languages like Klingon?
I don't know, because I don't speak it. I don't speak Klingon either. But I thought it's really cool. I mean, think about it. This recording was made when this piece was only 2 years old.
That sounds really good for 39.
It could be a little better, but I'm going to work with it.
Mono.
Yeah. And mono summing it helps. It's got a slight warp to it, but yeah, I wonder if we're going to get popped for this.
I don't know. Is this from back to 1939?
Was this Philadelphia Philharmonic, you said?
Yes. Yes, this is the Philadelphia Orchestra, conducted by Leopold Stokowski, 1939.
I'm almost surprised that we didn't have some Russian orchestra doing this.
Like I said, Russian 78s are a little scarcer to come by than the U.S. 78s, but yes. The Leningrad Orchestra did do a recording of it in 1938. I have a CD of that.
Oh, so you would have been closer to the reality. Yeah.
Well, they're both different in their own ways.
Gator, that's kind of ironic. You have a CD of the older version of it, and the 78 of the newer one.
Well, there was a CD put out of this.
Good point.
That is a good point. But I do. This is the finale, the fourth movement, which I played a concert band version of this freshman year of college in concert band. I always loved this piece. It's such a energetic, active.
Yeah. That's cool. And let's just say
3, 4, 5. Got to add an extra beat there just because.
Oh, so that's a 5/4 thing.
No, there was one measure of 5 in the middle of all those measures of 4.
Oh, one measure. Wow.
Yes, there's just one measure out of nowhere that adds an extra beat right there.
That's freaking.
Well, that's
Big Zappa, man.
Well, that's to make up for earlier when they had the measure of 3. I'm not kidding. There's a measure of 3 in the middle, and then there's a measure of 5 in the middle. Okay.
United Airlines' big theme song.
Yeah.
For many, many years is George Gershwin's.
Who let the random horn player in there?
Rhapsody in Blue, right?
Right.
Do you have the recording of Gershwin doing that on piano?
I have a recording of that on 78, but it's Alec Templeton on piano.
Find a copy of Gershwin doing it.
Now, here's what's cool. This was not recorded live, so they had to pause at certain points for side breaks. It's really weird the way they hit that note and just stopped.
Yeah.
We're having an intimate break.
I've not cleaned up the other records yet, so I figured I'd just play one of them. But of course, if you do like that,
you get out the scrub brush to clean them.
Actually, I clean 78s with a little bit of dish soap and water, because most of my record cleaning fluids are alcohol based, and you don't use alcohol and shellac. Generally, a little bit of dish detergent and water. And dry it with a microfiber cloth works perfectly fine for 78s. Squib Steve writing in.
No actual scrubbing.
No.
Okay.
I mean, the microfiber cloth kind of, cleans everything out
Yeah.
when you're drying it. But Squib Steve writing in.
By the way, it's good not to. It's a good idea not to use microfiber cloth totally dry.
Yeah.
Because that tends to scratch.
Yeah. Now, Squib
So
Steve writing
maybe
in.
have a mist of something that's on it.
Squib Steve writing in. I hate it when people waltz into my room when the music I'm listening to is clearly in 4/4.
Boo! But clever.
Yeah.
That's a
that
good
was-
music joke, and I don't get it.
Oh.
Well,
Waltz. Oh, waltz in the room. Okay. Da-da-da-da.
took you a while.
Yeah,
like, just wait.
I
You'll
missed the
you'll
magic
catch up
word.
to us. You'll get
The
there.
magic word,
There
yeah.
it is.
Yes. I think Steve has a whole ton of music jokes.
And we're going to hear them.
Incidentally, do you want to?
Do I want to what?
We'll let Steve's.
A famous conductor's father was asked why he didn't support his son's musical career. How was I supposed to know he would grow up to be Leonard Bernstein?
Damn. So if you want to, if we're going to continue with music jokes, if you want to improve your playing, stay tuned.
There we go. That is.
At least until we change the
That's what I
topic.
would have given it.
Yeah, stay.
But that's the one you start the whole music conversation with.
Now, I showed you all what the proper spelling of Shostakovich is. That's that right there is the
Yeah.
proper spelling of Shostakovich. This set of 78s, however, is spelled like this.
Like Howard Wolowitz.
Zostakowicz. Now, apparently, Shostakovich's grandparents spelled their last name like that, but
Yeah.
Well, then it's correct.
so it is.
But it's not the way he spelt it.
It's not the way he spelt that name.
Yeah.
So someone didn't do their research properly and slap that on the 78 albums of his music in the 1930s. But we now know that he spells it like that, or at least he did when he was alive, because he's dead now. But yeah. So Sparky Toaster ready. Excuse me, I need to tune my triangle.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
And
I need to tune my tuning fork.
there you go.
Just not as funny.
Well, you're trying to, rip off his joke by just replacing the triangle with a fork.
Yeah, but the tuning fork, of course, is the standard for that tone. But
But
Yeah.
but it's got to be in tune in order to tune other things.
yeah. Okay.
I'm just teasing you.
Okay,
I'm just
yeah, okay.
busting your balls, Brian.
Okay, we're turning a joke into a.
Yeah. Squib Steve writing in, if someday we all go to prison for downloading music illegally, I hope they split us up by music genres. They're not going to know where to put me. They're not going
I
to.
know it.
They're gonna put you in a
There could be a
random
special
noise
section
section.
for weird music lovers.
Well, but I like all kinds of music. I mean, would you call what I just played now weird? I mean, no,
No,
not
no,
at
no.
all.
That's
so
true.
I
That's
think
true.
I think I'd have to have the park hopper option in prison if that was the case. Some
The what?
days I feel a little classical. Some days I'm feeling a little weird. Some days I'm feeling a little rock. Every now and then, a little bit of twang, but not too much. And there we go.
They're gonna stick you in the room with the random noises. That's what they'll do.
See, they would put me in a room. I would ask for people. To be with the jazz musicians, right? But they know I don't do heroin, so they'll put me with the blues.
Okay, that one's pretty good. Any joke that uses the word heroin, I've found, usually is pretty funny.
And it's totally original.
Heroin is my go-to drug when it comes to making jokes about drugs. I had to be careful to clarify that. No, don't.
Oh,
do
by the way,
heroin.
did you see our friend Rob and those pictures he had on Facebook about the his kid voluntarily went into a cage?
No.
This was recently on and closed it and latched it on himself.
He locked
Apparently
himself
is
in a
the way to
cage.
get away from his parents or something. I don't know what it was about. And then there was a person, one of his friends, joked about children in cages. Well, I think it was a joke.
Well, Script Steve continuing with his music jokes. The kids had a music test today. They passed to win. I love a good fart joke. You know?
Whoa, whoa.
Jazz musician plays a bad nose twice, makes it good. Comedian tells a bad joke twice, still a bad joke. Not always.
Yes.
Sometimes revisiting a bad joke makes it funny just that you did it. You know, it becomes a running joke, and that itself is the joke. I base a lot of my humor on that. But
well, I mean, Johnny Carson would talk about the pyramid of comedy, right?
Right.
And you start at the bottom with your bad jokes.
Right.
And you build up to the better jokes. Whatever.
Well, me, I started about my bad jokes. I build up to the even worse.
None of those involve heroin. Unless you're...
Well, we don't know what he did in his private life to be, you know. I mean, for all we know, he could have been, you know, shooting up behind stage. No, I'm kidding. I don't think so.
But John Belushi was heroin, right?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, what wasn't John Belushi pumping into his veins? I mean, it's you know. But Sparky Toast ready again. A little twang, a little twang every now and then. Never hurt anyone. Yeah, exactly.
Twang it too much, you'll go blind, though.
Now, Restless Coffee writes in, some guy said he was going to attack me with the neck of a guitar. I said, is that a fret?
Oh. I approve.
Is that... So you're not Restless Coffee?
No. Not me.
No?
How could it not be you?
No, it's not. I'm here.
How could it be possible we have...
Coffee?
How could we have two coffee fans among us? I mean...
It's not me.
Well,
I
could actually. Well, I'm like a junior member of the club.
Yeah, I'm making my own cold brew these days, so I think I'm, you know, also. Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
You know, did you get one of those cold brewing machines?
No, I got one of those jugs with a screen cylinder in it, so you can just steep your coarsely brewed coffee overnight.
That's right. That's a
press.
Yeah. That's exactly
That's
it.
exactly what I do. And then you make it, then you put it in the refrigerator overnight, and the next morning you plunge it.
Right.
Yeah, that's called a French.
Oh, are you using a French press then, John?
Well, no, I don't plunge it. I pull the basically it's a cylinder that fits in the top of the jar, but has a lip that keeps it from going in all the way.
Yeah. So
so I pull it out.
That was just shown on Shark Tank.
I use the pull-out method of brewing cold brew coffee. So
So on Shark Tank, they basically the guy was selling this thing that you screw just a standard, one of those ball mason jars to.
Right.
And one end you throw the coffee in there with the water, put it overnight, and then you hook the thing up. Put with the other jar, and then you flip it over.
Oh, so that you could also dispense it. Well, the problem I have with the cold brew is that even though the cylinder, even though I'm coarsely grinding my beans, and the cylinder it has a very fine mesh, it still gets little like coffee remnants.
You're gonna get silt.
Right.
In any French press kind of situation like that, you're gonna get silt.
And it sinks to the bottom. So when you're pouring your first few cups, that's fine. But when you get to the bottom, then you start to have that residue as you get to the bottom of your mug. So flipping it over is gonna shake all that silt up, and then you're gonna have that in the bottom if you have a spout that so no, you want to pour off the top. And drink from the top.
That's why the French press is pretty good because you put everything in the bottom.
Right.
And then you actually then when you're ready you plunge it down and all the main grounds stay at the bottom.
Right.
Underneath the screen.
Yeah.
Right. But
so you can so bottom line, you could use a French roast that way.
Yeah. No, Restless Coffee hasn't written in before and just been a listener. Well, hey, thank you for writing in. That's thank you for listening. So, anyways, that was my little Sounds of 1939 moment. And
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to clean those all up and record those all in. Of course, I made a bit of a mistake. I bought the M set instead of buying the DM set, which I'm sure is a mistake many people have made at least once back in the 1930s and have gone, oh God, what am I gonna do?
Can I ask a question?
Sure. Yes, Mars.
Does the DM set have the yellow label? Is that the reason it's better?
No. The DM set is such that, for example, if I bought the DM set of this, the first record would have the first part of the symphony on the first side of the first record, and then the 12th part on the other side. And then the next record would have sides 2 and 11, and then the next record would have sides 3.
Is that for the auto flippy thingy?
So you can stack them all up in your record changer, and it drops them down and plays the 6 sides in succession. Then you pick them all up and you turn them all over, and then it plays sides 7 through 12. I bought the M set, which is not for a drop changer; it's for a manual playing, and so. The first record has sides 1 and 2. The second record has side 3 and 4. So you have to play and manually flip over and then change the record and manually flip over, which is, not that big a deal because I really shouldn't be stacking my records, but sometimes I can't help myself.
I don't know. Do you stack 78s? Wouldn't that be kind of scary for them to just do a flippy like that?
Dune writing in, what WTF kind of new math is that? Oh, come on, Dune. You are quite familiar with the concept of a double album having sides 1 and 4 on one disc and sides 2 and 3 on the other disc. Same concept, and you know why they do that. Come on, Dune, you know this. Just expand that out. It's the same concept. There's nothing new about this math. We're talking about 78s. This is 1930s math.
Right, and maybe Dune just doesn't know how to stack records.
Well, he he listened to his music in the car, so he was more an 8-track person.
Oh, actually, I heard this thing on. It was what was it? It was Casey Kasem a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about the what do they call them? They're like lines of cars, and they'd sit there and they put it in like a big grassy field. There'd be tons of lines of cars, and people would have their record players that would come out of their glove compartments. And they'd all play the same song at the same time, so it filled the entire field with the same song at the same time. It was really neat. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Springsteen. It was somebody else, but yeah.
Did they do that back in the 50s?
60s and 70s apparently.
But
yeah.
Anyways,
I'm old enough, but I don't remember it. Oh. Maybe because I just don't remember it.
But yeah, some people stack their records. Dune's generation listened to music until they heard that and then tossed it out the window and bought a new tape. But
the tape broke.
Well, no. I guess with the you'd use the matchbook, and then when the tape snapped and got you chucked it out the window.
Like the little paper one that folds over, or the big box.
I'm going with the big box. That would be fun. Just wedge a big box of matches.
So
no, it's a little fold over.
Dude would
matchbook.
not try to fix his tape?
That's how you fix it.
I don't know. I don't know. I never asked Dune about it. I'm not saying that I know specifically Dune has chucked a tape out a window, but I do know that was common practice back in the day.
Well, you do.
It was not uncommon.
On the side of the road.
It was not uncommon to see a tape on the side of the road.
Over, etc.
Yeah, that was not an uncommon sight in the 70s. So someone was doing that.
Honestly, how many Doobie Brothers were on the side of the road, honestly?
How many doobies were on the side of the road?
It depends on your state, but yeah.
Now, Squib Steve writing in, I'm planning a trip to Spain, bought an album that teaches you the language. You put the album on, you put headphones on, you learn the language while you're sleeping. During the night, the record skipped. I got up the next day, I could only stutter in Spanish. I'm giving that the groan.
That's from Stephen Wright. So he's stealing that joke from this other guy.
Yeah. Well, it's okay for one Steve to steal a joke from another Steve, right?
Exactly.
And of course,
even better, one Steven to another Steven.
Yes. And of course, we got our obligatory Yogi Berra quote of the night. Congratulations. I knew the record would stand until it was broken.
Right on.
Now, 5-hit Dune running in. No, no, no. Only evil possessed people can wind an 8-track.
Man. I remember repairing a number of cassette tapes.
Cassettes were easy.
Because they're relatively easy to open up.
Yeah,
you use a Bic pen to wind it.
Yeah.
I think I have repaired 1 or 2 8-tracks, but that's a lot more difficult because you got to get the tension and everything right.
You got to get they have lots of little windies in the 8-tracks. With the cassette was easy.
Yeah, you open the thing up and all the little pulleys go boing. Oh crap! Where did they go?
Yeah. What was that, Gators? I missed that message.
Oh well, Sparky Toaster sent a link for. I'd love to buy one of these if only they weren't so collectible now. But Sparky Toaster sent a YouTube link. Johnny needs one of these for his records. And I wouldn't mind having. They made an 8-track version of this, but let me go ahead and share the screen because, of course, now we're digging into the classic K-Tel commercials, which are always fun. So there we go.
Are you fed up with constantly searching for the records you want? Are you tired and frustrated from always straightening out your LPs? Now with K-Tel Record Selector, this will never happen again. To choose your favorite music, tilt the first record forward. The others follow automatically. Pick your selection when it appears. To choose more LPs, lean the next record forward and wait for your choice. The Record Selector is a new space-age design for selection and storage of records. Fingertip control regulates the speed of Record Selector. To replace the records, tilt the first record forward. Record Selector with a mind of its
Jaggers
own
and the
will
Supremes.
automatically stop where the LP was taken from. End awkward selection and storage of LPs with Record Selector. Attractively finished in a gift box. K-Tel Record Selector, only $3.99.
Wow, it's only $3.99.
Yeah. Try to get it for that price now.
Gators.
Try to find one now.
Yeah, go misspell it, and maybe you'll find a better version.
Yeah, maybe I need to spell it with a Z.
Yeah. I always find it amusing on those ads. How did it say it? Record?
Yeah, it's record.
No, it's record.
Well, they always had a very
weird
accent. Like announcers learn to talk like that in schools, so that they talked unlike any real person. Right now, I could buy a vintage K-Tel Record Selector for $55 plus $23.60 shipping.
How many records does it handle?
24.
That's not a lot.
No, it's not.
That's only what you're listening to right now, right?
I need to buy a few hundred of those.
Because that won't even make it up for your Atmos speaker system, right?
No, that would not. No.
So by the way, your Atmos speaker system, how many speakers do you have now?
I have. Well, I'm doing a 5.1.4 setup, so that'd be 10 speakers, 5 surround speakers, 4 ceiling speakers, and a subwoofer.
You need to add the 2 in between the 4. You know what I mean? 1 on each side, so you have 6 around the top.
Yeah. I mean, Dolby Atmos, you could do 7 speakers around you because 7.1 was kind of the new standard beyond 5.1, but most DVDs only went up to 5.1. 7.1, I feel, is just a dumb excuse to add more speakers behind you. 5 surrounds you perfectly adequately if you set it up properly.
You add more speakers. I have no problem with this. Go ahead.
So a 5.1.4 is also like if I wanted to do 7.1.4 Atmos, I'd have to buy an extra amplifier to amplify another 2 channels of amplification. But the receiver can do 5.1.4 because it has.
I had to rejoin the deal, and I'm back to the Best Buy ad. Woohoo!
Now, Squib Steve coming in with the facts. They picked announcers from Indiana. considered a flat accent.
Oh, I can see that.
Because it's a flat state. This should have been Oklahoma.
No,
Yeah.
Indiana has a very flat accent.
Yeah, that is kind of. I know I've read about that they went for middle of the country, for.
So where did Walter Cronkite come from?
Oh God.
The news? He came from like TV. He just
I know, but he came from some location.
Alexa, where did Walter Cronkite come from?
Here's the Wikipedia article on Walter Cronkite.
Oh, I don't know if you can hear that.
Okay, let's take a look here. Was born in St. Joseph, Missouri. Son of Helen Lena and Dr. Walter Leland Cronkite, a dentist. Lived in Kansas City, Missouri, till he was 10, when his family moved to Houston, Texas. So, he's, Missouri, Texas, not, still middle of the country area, not a coastal person.
Because back in the day, they said eventually we'll all be speaking, an accent called Cronkitis.
That's
Yeah, that's a thing.
yeah.
But that wasn't a joke, though.
It is now.
Well, because it doesn't really quite happen that way.
No, exactly.
I mean, I worked with a guy in the 90s. He was from Western Kentucky, and he sounded exactly like Elmer Fudd. Yeah.
He was finding himself a wascally wabbit. I knew a guy that looked like Elmer Fudd when he shaved his head. That's the last time he did that. But anyways, yeah. So I tell you, I got an interesting situation brewing at work, and maybe I shouldn't talk too much about work. Some of my coworkers know I stream, and I think they might be trying to find me, and hopefully they haven't.
Do you have a mug with with the stream link on it?
Not anymore.
Oh, I see.
AmateurHourRadio.com is no longer a valid link, and I never brought those coffee mugs to work. I use those at Tharco, though. I used to use those all the time at Tharco, yeah. But no. Well, here's the situation. The guy that's responsible for the image we put on the desktops has not had time to maintain that, and I'm the one that deals with imaging the laptops, and so I've been asking for an update or a training to hand that off to me or something for months now, and he always says a lot of things like, well, we don't really do training here. What you really want to do is you want to research this, and it's like, what I really want to do is sit down with you, have you go over what it currently does and what needs to be done to maintain it. I think that'd be a good starting point, and I can expand from there. And I've gotten to the point where I did spend 2 or 3 days teaching myself a bunch of tricks, and I learned a bunch of things, and I was able to do some things, but I wasn't able to do enough to really fix the problem I was trying to fix. And so I have to go back to the drawing board a little bit more there. And, I am not opposed to teaching myself stuff, but teaching myself everything from the ground up is a much slower process than bringing me up to speed on what we already have. Not to mention there are multiple ways to do things. I don't need to reinvent the wheel, but so this guy, every time and mind you, great guy, get along with him. We can usually, if I get him on the phone, we end up spending, at least an extra hour just chatting about tech shit, whatever. And no, we're not even thinking about Windows 11 yet, Brian. So you shush with that.
I'm just putting it out there for the next phase. Keep
no,
going.
I am not. I can't even. That does not exist yet.
That just means Gators needs to go to every single computer, go to the BIOS, and make sure the TPM2 is turned on.
I'm still waiting for Windows 9.
No.
Or I'm still waiting for Windows Vista to be fixed.
That's really good. No,
Okay,
Ryan,
that there was the joke of the show right there. That was...
Broke the show. They say breaking the internet, with something funny.
Yeah.
That one broke the show.
Yeah, Windows Vista certainly broke the internet for a lot of people. But you ever try to fix your network settings in Vista? Can't be done. I know. I tried. But oh man. Anyways, so every time the past like month or so, I've tried to ask this guy for help with the image. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm too busy doing cloud engineering, and I'm like, but you're the only guy that knows how this works, and you set this up. He's like, I'm too busy doing cloud engineering. Well, an email went out this past week. He's been promoted to be our cloud engineer. So I'm like, oh, great. Now he's going to be. Now he really does only do that. So. Which good for him. Good for him. He deserves it. Promotion. That's great for him. But now that brings up the urgency even further that he definitely is no longer responsible for this thing that he set up and only he knows how it works. And so I keep on pushing for I need training on this to the point that I told someone a few levels up on our one-on-one, I need some training time with this guy. And she said, oh, okay, I'll see what I can do. Well, what she does to see what she could do is tell the people that are management under her but above me to make it happen. And so they sent... they sent the guy an email saying, hey, we'd like you to schedule some time to do some, SECM and imaging training with Jonathan to send that off to him. He sent back a lengthy email that sounds very polite and very friendly and was basically a list of the things that I should teach myself. And he's happy to help me if I have any questions. Translation, I still don't want to train you, but let me know if I can help. Yeah.
And my response to that was, well, just start asking him questions, and that'll help him put together a course.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to go back to teaching myself and come back to him with a game of 20 questions and see if that eventually gets us on a call and gets us a real training session going. So he's not letting up the training easy. He does not want to train. He is really pushing hard on the whole, I taught myself, you do it too. And it's like, dude, could you tell us what you did? Could you just tell us what you did?
That's called job security, Gators. You don't tell anybody what you do.
He's been promoted. He doesn't need that job security anymore. He needs to be keeping his cloud engineering stuff secret now.
Well, I mean, ask a programmer like myself or Steve, how much of the code do you document? Just enough. Just enough. So that when I go back to it, I know what the heck I did, right?
How much? I once asked a guy how much did you document, and he said
no.
And so
same
that
here. I didn't document anything I did for my lab, so
no.
Yeah.
Or you document it enough so they can pass off the support to somebody else.
Yeah.
But, and then you're done. Then you're done with it altogether.
So, but the cool thing that came out of this was that the manager replied back saying, "Well, the bottom line is that this is being handed over to me and two system admins, with me being the lead person and the sysadmins being the backup." Which I was like, "Oh, this is great! This is great! I've successfully angled my way into owning this." Because, and speaking of successfully joining things, we have Squib Steve on the line with us.
I made it.
Yes.
There we go.
You know what? All right. You getting an echo?
No.
I'm not, but you might be.
Okay. I thought I was getting an echo for a second.
All right. You made it.
Yay.
We got you against the brick wall.
Yay.
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
Yeah, you can see up here in the corner, the upper left-hand corner, it's dancing around and a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Something wrong with my green screen there. If I go the other way, then I get...
See, the professionals set up these really bright lights. So green screen without professional lighting is not going to be as good as the professional stuff. So that's
it's also not a great green screen. I just added a light that.
Yeah.
We thought you were in front of a brick wall, man.
That's like one of the default. I recognize that brick wall. It's a nice, a nice look. We got that working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a better webcam than I may have used last time. I loaned this out to a friend to do a remote show in 2017, and I just got it back a month ago.
Cool.
2017.
So he finally decided that he ought to buy one for himself.
So he
and he'll give you the old one.
Well, they just came out with a new model, you see.
Yeah.
He never took it out of the box. The book that I was going to review was next to the box. So that's my bookmark in it.
Every now and then,
so,
Brian, Nick, and I would also trade knickknacks and just keep on our coffee tables and never use.
Oh, like the
So
he got the retro gaming emulator or something. What was the book? I can't read that.
From space.
Incredible Stories from Space. This interview never got done, so I have to reread the book because I don't remember it from 2017. And then the idea is to do the interview, but probably not until August or something.
So you gave him the webcam with the book.
Yeah. So he would
And then you
do
got it
the
back.
interview. And it doesn't look like he opened the book either.
Wow.
So, anyways, you mentioned earlier you do a show. We should promote that.
And this was going to be part of the show in 2017. So
You can pop a link in the chat there.
Let me see. The browser I'm using for this isn't the one that has the link to my show in a bookmark. So let me see. Shouldn't take that long.
So it's a book review type of show, or it's a science fiction or science based?
No, it's an astronomy show, right? So this is an astronomy related.
I see.
Thing that's Curiosity, the Mars rover, not the new one.
This book is obsolete because now we're going to be talking. There'll be a book out of billionaires in space.
That's the next. Yeah, I am in favor of rounding up all our billionaires and just shooting them off into space. I am on board with this plan. It's the whole returning them to Earth part that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You're gonna have to stop him from coming back.
Isn't Richard Branson?
I mean, Branson's okay. He can come back, right? Because the whole idea is to get not Zuckerberg. Well, I mean, Zuckerberg could go into space as well, but the guy from Amazon, what's his name?
Bezos.
Right.
Yeah,
Bezos. Get him up there.
Yeah, let's get them all up there.
Yeah.
Let's get them all up in space and
then we can
make
take
it a
his
reality TV show, Billionaires in Space. You know, that would
you
really.
might want to hear this. Musk has said publicly that he wants to die on Mars.
Well,
I have no problem with this.
did you hear what he's doing now? He got a ticket on the Virgin Galactic flight.
Yeah, he put a down payment on it.
Yeah.
And apparently he's sold all of his property, and he's currently living near SpaceX in a tiny house.
So he's getting ready to go to Mars.
Yeah, he's got his assets all online.
He lives right near me. I live really close to him.
Should we take bets? Should we put down bets on whether or not he?
But SpaceX is down in LA, isn't it?
No, but he actually lived over here near Fremont.
Because that's where the Tesla factory was.
Yeah. That's why he lived over here.
Although he's moving that to Texas?
Yeah, he said he already lived near Mars.
He's moving that to Texas because he hates California now.
He does have property in Texas, but he's not moving his plants anytime soon.
He's not moving the plant to Texas?
No, he's building a new one there.
Oh, well,
but
that comes down to be the same. Ultimately, you close one.
He's not moving the one over here.
That's not exactly a banner-friendly link. But anyways, it's in the chat room. So the Astronomy for Everyone. Oh, you have enough subscribers. You could set a channel name for the link to get rid of that random string of characters. Get a more friendly link. But yeah, I will have to click subscribe on that and check that out.
You know, I do have to say, I do love following the Curiosity Rover on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty hilarious.
Sparky Toaster writing in. I remember Squib Steve. He's the guy that had that ladder contraption thing he put around his neck, but I forget what the device did. Well, that was to study a telescope or binoculars or something like I guess for stargazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Steve is going to show us a lot of stuff that we've never seen before. At least those of us that are into telescopes.
Yeah.
Well,
but then again, Sir Marsh could probably show us a lot of ham radio gear that we know nothing about.
Ham. You know, that's such a great idea. You can listen to music. You can eat it for dinner. I am on board with ham radio.
They do kind of have something in common, honestly. The RF and the radio waves, and I can bounce signals off the moon and satellites and stuff like that. So I can do that. I just never done it.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that radios and ham have things in common.
Well, you can listen to radio while eating ham. I see nothing wrong with this.
There's nothing wrong with that. Or we can be a ham with our lame jokes here.
I'm thinking we're really getting on board with that.
Yeah. This is ham radio at its finest because it's radio with a bunch of hams.
Yeah. My new thing is I've been listening to airport maintenance. So I've been listening to what they've been doing all day. Like they clean the bathrooms a lot, which is good.
Yeah.
Is this the Hayward Airport?
I think it's SFO, honestly, because it's pretty big. Because they have Hawaii Air coming in and out, and that definitely isn't Hayward. So.
So much bigger deal.
And there's always something wrong with Gate 3, so they always move things to Gate 9, just to let people know.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yes.
If next time it's SFO and I see that my plane is expected to depart Gate 3, I'll just start walking to Gate 9.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Beat the crowd.
Gate 3 and Gate 9, would that be Southwest Airline?
Yeah. Southwest is the very other end, isn't it? It's the very end of the freaking tarmac. No, that's not Southwest. That's United. No, I think it might be Gate 3 or 9. I can't remember. I'm not sure. I don't know the airport that well.
It's been a while since I've flown out of there, so but I've been around different areas.
Well, I remember
there.
that Southwest Airline was at one end or the other. Yeah. So either it's Gate, 3 and 9 or whatever, or it's Gate 99.
Well, usually I'm on the airplane that is on the very, 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 very end. So you have to walk 8,000 miles to get there.
That's every plane I've ever taken from every airport.
That's usually United. So honestly, at the very, very end of everything is my plane. So you have to walk 40 minutes to get there.
Or when you go into O'Hare, you're at the very end of one, and you got to walk to the very end of another one.
That's why they have trams. You just get on little trams. They take me there.
And Steve
we usually
is not being slowed down from typing in the jokes just because he's doing a show. An astronomer ordered a double hamburger because he wanted a meteor burger. And I had to read that because Sparky Toaster was thrilled that he actually got that one.
Actually, in Straw Hat Pizza, there is an extra large all meat pizza called the Meteor. So there you go. And I get that one because I get that with extra garlic. I love it.
Wow.
You know what that goes really good with?
What?
Cardboard.
No, I don't do that. I'm sorry. I buy the 30-inch pizza and it lasts me 2 weeks.
That's what cardboard pizza is good for.
Gators, the box is so big it doesn't fit in your fridge. It's great. You buy this thing. I actually freeze half.
Yeah,
of it,
you gotta eat it all.
No, I freeze half of it, but
half
a
of it.
meteor with extra garlic and extra. Yeah.
Oh, you like to keep the neighbors away.
Just the
vampires.
Yeah, just vampires. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's delicious though.
Well, I've taken to experimenting
Do you
with my ice
scrape
cream.
the toppings off of the pizza, eat that, and throw the cardboard away?
No, they're meat. So Gators, how did your ice cream go on your vacation? I forgot how because you went to the thing and made strawberry ice cream, right?
Yeah. Well, yes. I made a batch of strawberry and a batch of pistachio, and the thing that's really cool about the homemade pistachio ice cream is the recipe I have calls for almond extract in addition to the pistachios, so you really get an almondy flavor in addition to the pistachio flavor, and that's really good. You know, and that always comes out pretty good, pretty creamy. My strawberry ice cream continued to be a little on the hard, icy side. And so I did a little bit of research, and I started thinking to myself, how can I get this creamier? Why is this such a struggle for, homemade ice creams to be creamy? Because I know that one of the tricks to getting creamy homemade ice cream is to use egg in the recipe. If you don't use egg, it's going to be hard and icy when you freeze it. And I'm like thinking wait a minute, I don't recall Breyers listing eggs when they talked about their all natural ice cream. They said, look, it's all natural. It's milk, cream,
probably use a heavy
and sugar.
Cream, don't they?
And I use heavy cream and whole milk. I use a high fat content. I make quite a high fat ice cream.
You're saying you add almond, like almond extract?
Well, that almond extract was added to the pistachio ice cream, which came out fine.
Yeah.
It's the strawberry ice cream that's coming out a little icy. So I read up on it, and there's a few things. One, professional ice creams do often use additional things to smooth out their recipes, but also it has to do with how fast you freeze it. The longer it takes ice cream to freeze, the larger the crystals are, and the less smooth that feels on the tongue. So that's why you want fast frozen. So that's why you got to work against that with things like eggs when it comes to homemade ice cream, because you don't have the advantage of the
liquid nitrogen.
The liquid nitrogen and the flash freezing of the ice cream.
Yeah, there is a national ice cream shop in Santa Maria that uses in the store, because they make it right there. They use liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, it's kind of. There's a couple.
It's pretty
places.
cool.
A lot of malls have that now, Brian. Actually,
who does?
A lot of malls have it.
But I pulled up.
Oh,
the
are
Breyers.
malls open yet?
Okay, well, Gators, I'm sorry.
But I pulled up the Breyers ingredient list, and there was one ingredient they didn't mention on the all-natural commercials back in the day.
Vanilla?
Milk,
Arsenic.
cream, sugar, and tarragon. And I was like, what's tarragon? Now, I know there's different types of gums that are often used to make things smooth, so I'm like, oh my God, tarragon. What is it? Can I get it? Because nowadays, it used to be if they don't have it at the grocery store, well, that's it. You're not getting it. But But you could order all kinds of foods from Amazon. I'm ordering my coffee beans from Amazon.
So tarragon is like from the taro root. So it's basically like.
I read up on it.
From Hawaii.
That stuff's nasty. It's like cement. Don't eat that.
I don't. Let's see. Tarragon is a natural additive obtained by grinding the endosperm of the seeds of Casalpinia spinosa of the Leguminosae family.
Are you allowed to talk about that on Twitch?
Well, I might have said that wrong. Tara spinosa, odorless powder produced by separating and grinding the endosperm of T. spinosa seeds. So it's natural. It's ground seeds. And I when I searched it, I immediately found a YouTube video of people talking a bit about it and how to use it in your homemade ice cream. And sure enough, you could buy a pouch of this on Amazon. And Prime delivery came here in 2 days. So I made a new batch of strawberry.
Does that come from Hawaii or something? I am unfamiliar with this plant.
It comes straight from Jeff Bezos' backyard. He grows it himself and grinds it and puts it in a little pouch and sends it out in the Amazon vans.
I'm sure using the Amazon drones.
I have. Let's see. Kingdom Plantae. Let's see. Genus Tara. Species T. spinosa. biological name, a binomial name, biological. I can't find where this plant is. Typically grows 2 to 5 meters tall. Its bark is dark gray with scattered prickles and hairy twigs.
Got to have the hairy twigs.
Oh, it's native to Peru and can be found growing through northern, western, and southern South America from Venezuela to Argentina.
Hey, they have coffee there too. You can buy your TerraGum and coffee at the same time.
That's why
Look at
I'm
that.
able. This is why I'm buying my coffee and my TerraGum from Amazon, because
There you
they got the South American imports.
You know what they just put in the same box? One has a pouch, one has a bag.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, I gotta say it worked pretty good. And then the other thing is that Kristen has reached the point that she's stopped eating normal ice cream because of the lactose intolerance, even with the pills. It still makes her feel bloated and disgusting.
Poor thing.
So I was looking into, could I make, find homemade ice cream recipes that use like other types of non-milk milks, and the nut juice variety of milks. I love calling that stuff nut juice.
You know what they have?
what it is.
You can also get oat milk. Oat milk's pretty good too.
Yeah, but I don't know how well it would make ice cream. And then also it's a challenge to make, because the big thing about ice cream is having that, milk fat and the fat content. And, so the other thing is that there is lactose-free milk, lactate milk.
Yeah.
But ice cream generally calls for cream and milk. And so I found out that I could not find lactose-free heavy cream or light cream, but Land O'Lakes makes a lactose-free half and half. And it turns out that my local Stop and Shop doesn't carry it, but the Stop and Shop in the next town does. So I was able to try tweaking a ice cream recipe by making it with lactose-free half and half instead of cream and milk, and added a bit of the TerraGum to it to help with the smoothing of it. And also I found that another tip I read online is replacing a quarter of the sugar content with corn syrup also helps to smooth out the texture. So these have been my latest ice cream experiments. Kristen said that half and half I made a batch of New York Super Fudge Chunk, which is a Ben & Jerry's flavor right out of their cookbook, because I have their ice cream recipe book.
I use fat, the non-fat half and half all the time.
I just go to Thrifties.
No, non-fat half and half is different from lactose-free half and half.
Oh, I got it. I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I should look for that.
Land O'Lakes makes it. Why, do you have a lactose intolerance?
No.
Ah.
Well, I might.
You might?
He drinks milk and he poops.
Do you get the shits after you have a bowl of cereal there? Is that...
Why, I don't have cereal.
And you're trying to figure this out?
No, I rarely have milk, okay?
Oh.
But I do feel a little off in that area
when you
after I have ice cream.
Ah. See, it was funny because developing lactose intolerance later in life or as an adult is not that common. Usually you develop that in childhood. So, Kristen... from what I've read.
Well, it had been stated that my mother was lactose intolerant and she would have ice cream anyway.
Well, yeah, and then she'd get the shits.
Clean the system out.
But this is something that was, I think, developed later in life. But then again, the whole digestive problems were later in life.
See, my brother has that philosophy of, I'll eat what I want to eat. I'm trying to train my body to not be lactose intolerant. And my cousin, who's works in the medical field as some kind of an assistant or whatever, has been trying to explain to my brother that's not how it works. But that doesn't seem to. Of course, you don't want to wander far from home.
But still, the reason why you went to the cafeteria when you were in college, living in a dorm, you'd go to the cafeteria to boost your immune system.
And to socialize.
Sure.
No.
Why not? No.
You're slamming something down and then going off to class.
Oh, no. You're doing it wrong. You socialize in the cafeteria.
No, we're talking about like lunch. You're going to lunch. Nobody's there. So you grab something to eat quick and slam and go, and then hope you can make it to the class without barfing all over the place.
There you go. There
Again,
you go.
boosting your immune system.
Boosting the immune system. Yeah. Well. So, anyways, but Kristen started having issues, feeling kind of upset with her stomach, and it was me that noticed that it seemed to be the worst after we'd have ice cream. And so, like, we found a in Oakland, when we were living in the apartment in Oakland, there was this beautiful old timey ice cream parlor that we would pass sometimes on our way to the grocery store and back. And she always said, "Ooh, we should go there sometime." And her birthday was coming up, so for her birthday, I'm like, "Let's go out, get you a nice banana split from the ice cream parlor." And we went there because
let's not just do it; let's overdo it.
Well, she loves banana splits.
Yeah.
And
who does?
And I have their album, but that's
yes. And I love their TV show, particularly the Danger Islands portion.
And so we went and we had ourselves.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're not as old as you, but
He was still playing when you guys were very young.
I've seen reruns.
Yeah, reruns.
Yeah, reruns. Right. I mean, like,
and there's YouTube.
Like we watched. Let's just say we watched shows like the Three Stooges, and they were probably dead then, or maybe not, or they were just so old they weren't making new ones.
Right.
But they were done, in the 30s.
But it was after that visit to the ice cream parlor when Kristen had a bad attack, and I'm like, this seems to happen right after you eat ice cream. Do you think you're lactose intolerant? And her immediate reaction was, no, I don't think so. And then about like 10 minutes later, she's like, yeah, you know what? I think so.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't always hit you over the head immediately. Sometimes it takes a while to figure out.
I agree. That's why it's only one reason where I kind of go, I have a bowl of ice cream, and then later I kind of feel off, and I go, I wonder if I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah. Well, Sparky
I hate
Toaster,
that idea, but
yeah. Well, Sparky Toaster's commenting on the Tower Gum description that he prefers women who shave their twigs. Hair on twigs is a turnoff.
Oh, okay. No razor verb.
Okay.
No razor verb for Sparky.
What's that?
The hairy twig. Gotta watch out for the hairy twig.
My niece was odd. She was lactose intolerant when she was born, and she had lactose intolerant until she was about 14. And then it went away for like 3 years. And she was like, this is great. She ate ice cream. She did everything. Had no problem. Oreo cookie shakes, not a problem. It was great. She never thought about it. And then completely forgot about it. And one day, she went and got some ice cream from this local place over here. And all of a sudden, she's like, it's back. Which is kind of sad. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. My youngest sister had lactose intolerance when she was younger, and that's how I knew about Lactaid milk, because we always had a jug of that in the fridge for her.
That tastes nasty. I'm sorry, it tastes nasty.
But I do like the commercials saying, "Hey, this is made from real milk. Those are real cows, right? They're not dogs.
They're not milking dogs." I hope not.
No.
Has anyone tried dog milk?
No.
No.
You know what? Let's Google that. Can you drink dog milk?
I don't know. If you make sure your research is.
It had to be weird at the time. The first guy who drank cow's milk or goat's milk.
Yeah.
Somebody had to do it first.
Ugh.
Let's see. Let's see.
True story. The skinny woman selling ice cream apologized. Sorry for your wait. There wasn't a line, and it was before I ordered.
Oh.
Let's see. Let's see. Dog's milk has a very bad taste. Dogs are carnivores, and milk from all carnivores is generally greasy and thick. Since it is very, very thick, it won't be able to go through a milk filter, which means that you won't be able to get rid of fur, scabs, or dirt. While it's fine for canine puppies, this is not fine for humans.
I don't think
Yeah.
I want to try whale's milk because it comes out like cottage cheese.
Oh. Well, what about Wales cottage cheese? I mean, do you not like cottage cheese?
Well, I think it wouldn't. It would probably be nasty and
What
probably stinky.
What about cat milk?
Like when you're in Maui and you see a whale come up close, it's really cool, right? Well, in Maui, they're not feeding, so they haven't eaten anything for weeks.
Humans should
But
avoid...
off of Monterey Bay,
Hmm.
if you're downwind of a whale, chances are you going to smell him from what he ate, and oh my God, that stinks.
Ooh. Humans should avoid to drink cat milk because when humans drink cat milk, the indigestible lactose in its gut can ferment, resulting in a upset stomach. So, okay, dog's milk, cat milk, no. So I'm glad that we now have scientific reasons to not do that.
No.
But so cows and goats.
Yeah.
And
someone must have tried all these milks to figure out that it was the goat milk and the cow milk that you wanted to go for. The rest
I
of
think
them
sheep milk is also okay. I haven't
Okay.
tried it.
Which one does not eat meat? Okay, we'll try that.
What about bat milk?
I think on Clarkson's farm they do some sheep milk.
Okay.
I think it's sheep milk, unless it must be because he
Gators,
doesn't
are you
have
trying to
goats.
milk a bat? Is that what you said?
Well, I mean, that's someone must have tried all these, right? I mean,
That would be. I think you wouldn't get much out of it.
it might take a
You're
while.
inviting cow jokes, right?
What's that?
You're inviting cow jokes. There are a whole bunch of good cow jokes because for some reason cows are funny. But two cows are outstanding in their field. Well, maybe they were scientists or something. One says to the other, "Mad cow disease really has me worried." The other says, "Me too. It's a good thing I'm a helicopter."
That is a good thing.
A helicopter.
All right. So maybe you didn't like that one. Two cows were smoking.
I didn't
joint and
understand it.
cards.
Well, he's got mad cow disease and thinks he's a helicopter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought the other one was mad because he was talking to a helicopter instead of a cow.
That's it.
Or maybe he was concerned that
Squid
flying in a
Steve,
helicopter is not as safe as an airplane.
Number 2 for the recovery.
Okay, so two cows were smoking a joint and playing cards. That's right, the stakes were pretty high.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh.
I wonder if you get a cow high, if that affects the steak that you get from that cow. I mean, wouldn't that...
Those would be high stakes. Yes.
Well, you know what Kobe? You know how they make Kobe beef, right? They basically give the cows warm beer and massages every day, and that's why the meat is so tender.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
So let's go with an easier cow joke.
Okay.
There were two cows in a field. One of the cows says, "Moo." The other one says, "That's what I was going to say."
Yeehaw!
Okay. All right. That was that. Yeah, that was a joke. And there were cows in it. I'm trying to figure out how we can get off this topic.
Cows?
I know. Here's the killer. So, has anybody tried kangaroo milk?
I could ask someone, but she doesn't return my messages anymore.
Okay. So here is a fact. Okay, as we know, one of the big sources of methane in the atmosphere, and Ronald Reagan, as president, told us this.
Cow farts.
That cows develop a lot of methane.
I thought it was
right?
Taco
Bell. Say that again.
I said I thought all the methane came from Taco Bell.
Ooh, that could explain a lot.
Anyway,
but kangaroos do not emit methane. We should be switching from cows to kangaroos.
Dude, you know how dangerous kangaroos are? They're freaking scary. I'm
Except
sorry,
that
Steve.
Well,
modern
and
agriculture
so are
has already
drop bears. They're really scary.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
Steve. What did you say? I didn't get what you heard. What
Drop
you
drop
said.
bears are scary.
Well, yeah. No, I was listening to Steve. I couldn't hear him.
Oh,
Yeah.
what did you say, Steve?
Yeah. So it turns out that modern agriculture has solved the cow methane problem. What they now do is they actually scoop up the cow manure into a big pile. They put a black plastic tarp over it
Oh.
so that it bakes in the sun and produces even more methane.
Oh.
With the
And they
capture.
run that through-
Don't lift up
and they
that tarp.
capture that and they run
Whatever you
that
do.
through a converted internal combustion engine, which is converted for methane, and generators on that. And the dairy farm now makes as much money selling electricity as it does selling milk. So it doubles their income. So no dairy farmer ever anywhere would not do this. So, for example, they found a source of smog in the LA area somewhere, and by satellite, and they realized that it was this one dairy farm, and they went, "Oh, this is a solved problem," because you're going to be making so much more money that you can obviously afford to be, given a loan and get all the setup done. It's just worth doing. So,
see, actually, that's an interesting thing because I was assumed that the methane was coming directly from the cow. So the only way to capture it would be jamming a hose up its butt.
Well, there's multiple ways the methane leaves the cow, but it sounds like solved a large part of it.
Sounds like a good solution.
Yeah.
You know what the problem is? You know those people that love going out in the middle of the night and tipping the cows and be like, yeah, watch this, and they'll bring their friends over and they'll lift up the tarp a little bit, light a match, and run. That's what they're going to end up doing.
That is pretty wacky. Now apparently,
if it doesn't blow up in their face.
Apparently in Australia, every supermarket has a cold section with a wide range of kangaroo products, kangaroo milk, cheeses, yogurts, and cream. We use it for cornflakes and baking. Out in the West, we call it that in tribute to our American cousins. Each farm will have a mob of kangaroos that we milk in the morning and afternoon. I wonder if this person is being silly or if this is absolutely true.
Well, I know they have kangaroo jerky. I do know that.
Luckily, we have developed the kangaroo stool as a small seat that lets you sit close to the ground while you hold the milking pail. It's not widely known outside Australia, but kangaroos have 10 teat, so the amount of kilk, that's what we call kangaroo milk, to differentiate it from cow's milk, we get can be quite substantial. On my property, a kilk dairy, I run a mob of kilkers and also am trying to introduce koala milk, also called kilk, as Australians don't have much of an imagination, unfortunately. So yes, hearty, rich
kangaroo
and
koalas both start with K, and they didn't realize they needed to go to another level, another letter. Although, yeah.
Kangaroos are freaking scary as crap, and they'll beat the crap out of you. How are they milking those things?
With a special stool, apparently. I'm not. You know what? I gotta Google this if this is legit or not.
Yeah, you need to Snopes that, sir.
I'm gonna Google kangaroo milk.
Well,
kilk.
a group of kangaroos is a mob, so at least that's correct, right?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, then again, a guy that was making a good story out of it could also, use that.
I can't find a definitive other answer on this, but it very well may be. Like I said, it's too bad Emily doesn't talk to me anymore. I could ask her, hey, because I know she eats kangaroo steak, and apparently it's best quite rare. I've had a kangaroo burger.
I've had ostrich. That's the only thing I've ever had like that.
Well, you can get that from Fuddruckers.
That's where I got it.
Yeah.
Ostrich?
Yeah, ostrich burger.
Yeah, they have ostrich and also buffalo or bison.
Yeah.
No, bison's
Not from Golden
good.
Gate. Not from Golden Gate though. Those are still free roaming. It's fine.
Okay.
But no,
bison is a low fat. It's like, why aren't we doing that?
There we go.
Because bison have big horns.
You know, I just realized a missed
Big
opportunity.
horns?
Well, I think the males do. I don't know about the females.
Big horns there, Mars?
I thought bison had horns.
Yeah. Have you been to Texas and seen the horns on the cows?
What? Not the female. Well, do the females have horns? I guess they do, don't they?
Of course, that's mostly the
Well, if they're feeling
male,
horny.
the steers.
Well, they got that stinky place in between here and LA. That one area that have all the cow farms.
Is that Hanford?
No, it starts with a C.
With a C?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I
I don't know.
just realized a total missed opportunity here.
What?
Earlier, when Steve was talking about his YouTube channel, I totally should have been playing some Tamita in the background. Because
Ooh.
this is
Ooh.
this is
This
the correct background music for talking about astronomy on television, right?
What was his name? He used
Are we
to walk
talking
on
about
the...
astronomy?
Yeah.
Well, earlier when we were,
Yeah.
I was saying
Yeah,
we should have
right.
played this.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
I did figure out a good way of getting off of the cow subject. We could
Yeah.
do a segue, right? So you get dragon milk from short-legged cows. You ever had dragon milk?
No,
It's a
I
beer.
haven't.
At least it's a local beer here. I don't know.
Oh,
Pretty
Dragon
strong.
Milk beer. Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah. Right. So now we can do beer stuff.
Wait, I have a question for you.
Or instead of tiger milk, tiger beer.
Tiger beer.
I have a
This is
question. Do they
dragon-
call it
dragon
dragon milk? Do they call it dragon milk because the short-legged cows drag their udders on the ground when they walk? No, I'm honestly almost serious about that.
That's an interesting theory. That would
All right,
work.
I'm out of time. I gotta go.
All right. Well, hey,
Yes,
thanks for
yes.
joining us.
Hey, thanks for getting in.
Yeah, I made it. I have no idea.
All
how to
right,
do
so
this.
when you figure out how to do Twitter DM, then you'll see where the link is. You know, if you're on a browser, I actually the Twitter DM is hard to find because
It's the envelope on the left side, and if you have a DM, it'll have a number next to it, right?
Oh, I know it, but it's hard to find because it's not obvious.
Ah,
There's a whole row of buttons on the left side, and you go, I have to check each goddamn one.
and when you just tweet, you never click those buttons. I see.
No, I use the phone, which doesn't work that way.
Oh, yeah.
There's a separate top tab on the bottom for the DMs.
Oh, that's right. They're on the bottom there.
Until, of course, they changed the app.
I can't
Well, that's-
copy and paste from phone though to the browser.
What?
Really need your help.
All right.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Bye, Steve.
Bye, Steve.
All right.
That right there, Gators, is called a hard out.
That was
That
What
was
I-
a hard out,
I-
sir.
when I heard that, I was like, "Uh-oh, he stayed too long." He is.
He's in trouble.
Right.
Steve, thank you.
We got
We
Steve
enjoyed
in
our
trouble.
corny jokes.
Oof.
Oh, well. You know what? Don't feel bad. I think he's in trouble all the time.
I think that. Well, we don't need to talk about. It sounds like you have some stories there that you'd love to tell us, but you can't.
But you can't.
Because we don't talk
Exactly.
about our brothers' personal lives. We
Yeah, that's
don't.
right. That's right.
I've got lots of stories I'd love to tell too, but I can't.
At least when
Right.
he's not drunk. When he's drunk, we never know what comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, no, I just had to break out the tomato, and I was like, oh, stupid! When we were talking about his astronomy show, I should have
That guy
totally
that
played
used
that.
the
Yeah.
PBS that will walk down
Yeah.
the thing in the stars. And now,
That Stargazer or whatever.
yeah, Stargazer. They use that noise on KCBS now in the morning, or when the guy does it on KCBS too.
Yeah.
So actually, I think it was a week or so ago. I was actually doing some texting with my brother, right?
Oh, no.
Talking about the show last week, and then of course I said that it was canceled, but then it turned out we didn't cancel it. Got all complicated, but he also wanted to know what the topic would be, and I said, well, we don't really talk about that ahead of time.
No, you always have a topic. Brian.
See, well,
I know, but not really ahead of time. I mean, he could have, if we were doing this, popped a topic that, oh yeah, he's got some astronomy jokes, he has some cow jokes, he has some whatever, and we just kind of throw them in there.
Yeah.
When whatever.
Well, I mean, the thing is that he runs a theme channel and a theme show, so he's used to so he does a more organized style. But my whole thing is
we have
chaos.
thrown topics together now and then.
Right, but it's always I like the spur of the moment, the things that and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's always something.
No, and it's fine. I'm just thinking to kind of get into the mood for it. You kind of go, oh yeah, we could do some cow jokes, we could do something about astronomy, we could talk about oh, that's right, the music from last week that you didn't play.
Well, it's
the Frank Zappa thing.
It's Frank Zappa music. I'm just saying, if you like Zappa, I have to say it was worth getting. There was a lot of previously released music on it, but there was a few live things that were not previously released. Was what?
Was Carphone on it?
Was what on it?
It's called Carphone.
Carphone?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Okay, never mind.
Frank Zappa, Carphone?
Yeah. It's one of his newer ones. One of the newest ones.
If you say so.
Yeah. I'll go find it for you later, Gators. I'll send you a link.
Okay. All right. I mean, there's do you like my new car? Which was the routine that Flo and Eddie would do at the live shows about that would usually lead into them singing "Happy Together."
Yeah.
But that there was no phone in that, so no, I'm
Brian. What you should do is DM Steve and tell him what the official topic of the channel is. Then he knows what the right.
Oh, there we go. The official show topic is titty fucking.
Yeah, so you just send that to a DM to him with that, and say, "There, 5 jokes," and see what he does.
You might be surprised. He might stop and think for a moment. And goes, yeah, I remember I tried that once, and
no, we don't want to know. We don't. There are things you don't want to know.
You know, we could probably work this into the milking topic somehow.
There's things Brian really doesn't want to know about his brother. I'm just saying. Sorry, Brian. Now you're probably scarred for something.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with that topic.
Yeah.
People usually have something to say about it.
Bleh.
How about that link?
But so you found a Frank Zappa phone case, I take it. That's also not a song called "Car Phone" by Frank Zappa. But yes,
I'll find it. I don't remember the full name of the
there's
song.
quite an assortment of phone cases with Frank Zappa's likeness and image on them. So I'm sure these are fully licensed products. Oh, I'm quite excited to find that Sparks is in fact going to be playing in Boston next year. So I am waiting for the tickets to go on sale. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
So you're going to avoid Ticketmaster. I mean, what's his name?
Fandango.
Fandango.
Well, Fandango sells movie tickets, so that shouldn't be an issue.
This is live rather than movie.
Right. Yeah, they're playing Wednesday, March 30th next year at the Schubert Theater Botch Center. And I think tickets go on sale for people on the mailing list tomorrow, and then to the public on the 14th. I joined the mailing list today, so hopefully I'll be getting a link in the mail tomorrow. But now I need to start asking
And by then the COVID Delta variation will be done.
Yeah.
We hope.
Maybe we'll be on Gamma or Epsilon by then.
So, yeah, I'm going to try to buy tickets. I got to find out. Oh, you know what? I was hoping Gothard would show up so I could ask him if he wants to go. That way I need to know if I need to buy 2 or 3 tickets or one ticket.
Just send him a text, right?
Yeah, I'll have to do that. Usually I send him a Facebook message.
Gators, how's the movie, by the way?
But the movie, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. And
wait a minute. So you're saying Facebook's Messenger, right?
Yeah, that's how we usually converse. Yeah.
Facebook Messenger sucks.
Still how we converse.
Remember Andy? Or I've talked about Andy before, a Chinese guy.
Yeah, I met him once or twice.
We use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Of course, I don't know what that's like if I would have a second person on it, because I only have him on it.
Well, anyways, I tell you, after I watch a Sparks movie, I'm working on filling in the gaps in my Sparks vinyl collection to try to get the whole catalog.
Oh, the cat is on the couch. I thought she was on the turntable.
No.
I said, make it spin. That would be fun.
Turn that thing to high
More
speed.
fun than a cat on a Roomba.
Cat claws and 78s go quite well together.
Yeah.
No, she just was a little, stirred up because I stood up. But so yeah, I've been buying after I watched went to see the Sparks Brothers in the theater. Mind you, still haven't gotten a refund from Fandango. And I have now gone to the point where I've had to escalate my claim with PayPal for them to review it. And so now they're doing the whole, well, we've reached out to them and we're asking for their side of the story. And it seems like Fandango's response for any claims is we don't talk to you. Fuck you. So PayPal is going to tell them to go fuck themselves and get my money back, hopefully.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Usually my PayPal claims have been against eBay sellers. I don't know if PayPal and Fandango, being big companies, are in bed with each other, and if they will find the favor.
You can only try, right?
Yeah. Well, so we'll see what happens. But yeah. So I'm still quite pissed at Fandango that they are having this attitude towards it, that they sold me bad tickets and won't refund me and have forced me to have to try to make a claim. And if that doesn't work, I'll make a claim with the credit card company that's a fraudulent charge. Because I say it's flat out fraud what they did. Anyways, yeah. So after I watch the movie, I'm going to see them live because I got to get them back their tape. And so far, all efforts to send them their tape back have fallen short because their management company is totally interested in acquiring this tape because
You have a copy of it?
What's that? Oh, I've made plenty of copies.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Every time I reach out to them, they reply to me. And a band's management company is interested in you if they reply to every one of your emails. Because no one has been ignored more by band managers than me.
Oh dear.
Sometimes you get a reply and then if you try to reply back, that's where it ends. Sometimes you never hear a thing. But Sparks' manager, she replies every time. I reply and say, hey, I still have this tape.
Did you actually ever get replies out of Pink Floyd? Or did they just steal your work?
That's not...
Pink Floyd didn't steal my work. Rick Wakeman is the work that my work on a Rick Wakeman tape was released, and I gave him permission to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so
yes,
there was communication there.
There was communication. Well, the guy who was authoring the DVD, I gave him the files and permission to use it. He sent that to Abbey Road, so there was a few degrees between me and the actual audio engineers. Because the go-between was the author of the menus on the DVD. But Abbey Road acknowledged that they did receive my files, but Abbey Road wouldn't confirm that my files were the ones they used because they forgot which ones they went with when they were asked about it. But
you could say, all I want is IMDb credit.
I'm already on it.
I know, but then you'd have two things on there.
Just throw it on the Johnny Gators thing.
I want another credit someplace.
Yeah. Well, No, but yeah, I mean they've acknowledged. In fact, like one of the executives for Universal sent me the free box as a thank you for it. So that was kind of an acknowledgement, and
Nice.
I'll take that. But
Actually, we would at some point we might change our little advertising banner just for the hell of it that we use just for the hell of it. Change it to "We have IMDb credit."
there we go. But if you were to Google the song "Kidnapped" by Sparks, you would probably find this song.
Kidnap somebody's son. Kidnap.
So right now, this song can be found on the internet like that. All copies of this song in circulation trace back to a tape that's in that closet right over there.
Gators.
Yes.
Gators, I have a question. I'm
Okay.
glad you never used this as a show opening song. Thank you.
It's not one of their best songs. It's one they chose that wasn't good enough to put on the album. But yeah, I think "Kidnap Somebody's Son" would not be a good show name.
No.
In very bad taste. Kidnap somebody's son.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good. I see why they left that off the album.
It's kind of a silly song. It's
It's the context of it, Gators.
well, he's talking about how he was kidnapped and for ransom and that he decided to go in on it with the kidnapper, and they do this every year now to split the proceeds or whatever. It's because they went to the president of the United States to raise the funds for. But anyways, it's a silly song that was left off the album, and there's another song that is on that tape too. And once I shared it, it spread like wildfire among the Sparks fans. So, like I said, I feel a bit bad about that. I probably would have rather it not have gone widespread like that. I shared it with a few friends who it ended up on YouTube.
Oh, so you want to know a good creepy song, right?
Well, I wanted to finish the story. So I still have the
That's the topic, though.
They say they want the tape, but they say, "Oh, well, we'll send a courier to pick it up." And I'm like, "Okay, do you want me to ship it to an address? How do you want to do this?" And they never follow through with arranging for a pickup or a shipping or anything like that. It always falls through. And I'm just, I'm not going to nag them. I only nag them a few times, and then like every few years I see the box, I'm like, I really should get it to them, and I nag them again. So I'm at the point now where I'm going to.
Are you just asking them? Just send me an address and I'll mail it to you.
Well, I mean,
granted, you can send a courier. That's wonderful. But I'll just send it to you. I don't care.
Well, now that I'm getting to the point where I'm planning on buying tickets to see them live in Boston next year, I'm going to book my tickets, and I'm going to email them. I'm going to let them know, hey, I got tickets for the Boston show. I'll bring the tape. Who should I hand it off to? Maybe Ron or Russ could, come out after the show.
Here's what you got to do. Mars, Are you with me on this? I think, Johnny, you should rush the stage and see if you can get past the police.
Brian, my question is, with or without pants?
oh, that's even better.
I'd rather this be a pleasant experience.
Yeah, exactly.
But you gotta go. Sometimes you just gotta go by, do what you gotta do, and then ask for forgiveness.
I don't. This is not one of those cases.
Don't do that.
There's a time and a place for that strategy, and it's not rushing the stage at a rock concert.
And you tell the security guy, "This is not a gun. This is the recording for them."
It's like, hey, Gators, what do you think of Boston Prison? What do you think about that?
Here's the thing. Even if I rush the stage with the tape, even if I get the tape to them, they're gonna think I'm some psycho fan that wants them to hear my demo, and it's like, no, it's your tape. It's your really. I mean, are they going to believe that some random guy in the audience at the Boston show has a tape with a unique recording of theirs that they want?
Hey, Mars, he's going to be sharing a cell with the guy that tore the label off the mattress.
Oh no, not Gators, you're going to be a hardened criminal, sir.
Oh, man.
God.
Wait. Is it illegal to tear off the tag off a pillow?
Well, that's the same thing.
No, it isn't. A pillow or a mattress, two different things.
No,
Mattress
but
is
they all
bigger.
have labels, and it actually says not to removed except by
Hey,
the consumer.
hey, Brian.
Yes.
I didn't see that label. I just tore it off.
Well, but you're the consumer of it.
Yeah.
Did you eat the label since you're the consumer?
I had to destroy the evidence.
Yes. See, you did it
So-
right.
So, anyways, yeah. So
I didn't do it, officer.
So
Your
that's
Honor.
so that's my current plan. Buy the
Okay.
tickets for the show.
Rush
let them
the
know.
stage.
Let
Oh,
them know. Let their manager know I still have
Oh.
the tape that we've
Yes.
both acknowledged I have and exists.
Make sure
I'm
to keep
going
an ID
to
with you,
do
Gator,
to the
so they can
show.
ID you just in case. Okay,
Right.
I'm the psycho fan that has your tape. This is my ID to make sure you know. Here's
Right.
your tape.
Like, could I possibly just have a brief handoff with Ron and Russ after the show?
You just want to meet Ron and Russ.
I do want to meet Ron and Russ. I
See?
do.
Did
You know?
Gators, make sure to have your shirt on and don't have Ron and Russ like with Sharpie on your chest or anything. Okay.
Oh my God!
Don't
I
do
wonder what their reaction would be if they saw me wearing a T-shirt with the show logo of Amateur Hour that included the kimono-clad ladies standing in front of a train wreck. I wonder if they would find this very bizarre and wonder what the heck is that.
Well, as long as you don't wear a shirt that has sea bubble on it. Then I think they'll be fine.
What's C-Bubble? Arrival?
This is a story, Brian. Get
Yeah.
the popcorn. We got a story.
Okay. I'm getting the popcorn.
Okay. So once upon a time, I think Vamp was doing a show, and someone wrote into the show about how they were offended, or someone called in about being offended, and we thought that this was a little ridiculous because the radio station is called No Holds Barred Radio. Like we're here to be
Missing
offensive.
the concepts, yes.
So someone, I guess the person complained, you should have a disclaimer on your website about this. So Vamp came up with the perfect solution for this, that if we put the word CUNT
See
bubble
you next Tuesday, bubble.
in big letters on top of the web page, that would let people know up front that we're offensive. And so Rico thought this was a great joke, and so he updated the website with the word "See you next Tuesday" bubble, big text across the top of the page, and we all had a laugh, and we all forgot about it and left it that way for a number of days. About a month later,
Yeah, I'd say about a month.
about a month later, Dune sends a bewildered email to the staff list going, "Who put the word 'See you next Tuesday' bubble on top of the website? I opened that page up at work."
And Gators, I have
so
a question.
sensitive.
The question is, Gators, did you get Dune a mug?
A mug?
Yes, a mug. A customized mug with see you next Tuesday bubble on it.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
That would have been not now.
He's
not
gonna have a
now,
birthday.
Not now. Then would have been hilarious. Now
It's
I
never
don't
too
know.
late to get a sea bubble coffee mug for someone.
You know what? If it's just sea bubble Gators, would you use that? Would you use that on a Zoom meeting with your work?
I would use that at a Zoom meeting with a blind person.
Great.
Oh my God.
That's my Zoom
Oh, my
calls
God.
with Sir Mars mug.
Sure it is.
Okay, so quickie,
Yeah.
creepy song, Primus's Miscellaneous Debris album, the song being Intruder,
Okay.
which is actually a Peter Gabriel song.
Okay.
These are all,
Okay,
covers that
Private
Primus
Eyes
did.
are freaking a creepy song.
What?
Private Eyes is a freaking creepy song. They're watching
Okay.
you at all times.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch
Okay.
of creepy songs.
Creepy songs. Yeah. No, there's plenty of good creepy songs. So, anyways, we got to look for someone to raid.
Oh, who are we rating?
And, well, there's lots of good choices here, but why don't we raid someone we haven't raided before? And it looks like Sarah Jazz is live right now, and she's playing with the Connor Party. And this looks like it's some kind of an outdoor concert that's going on. So, yeah. This looks like a good stream to raid. Although, if it's a... You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's give Sarah Jazz a raid. So, thank you, everyone. But you know what we need to do before we do that?
What?
Well, we do need to do our normal routine and go around the room and find out what have we learned here this week. And so, Mars, what have you learned this week?
I learned that Brian kept saying he was old today, but he's only as old as he feels. And don't smell the whales.
And don't smell the whales. And Brian, what have you learned this week?
I learned that Johnny really doesn't want to rush a stage. Buck, 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 buck.
Yeah, I like my freedom. And I don't want to piss off Sparks even more than I already have. And I've learned that I probably shouldn't drink cat milk.
Or dog milk.
Or dog milk. Well, I don't have a dog, but and my cats don't make milk. But if they did, I wouldn't want to drink it.
Have you asked them?
No, I have not, but I don't think that's going to work anyways. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to raid Sarah Jazz, who's playing live right now with the Connor Party. And
by the way, when a cat does this, you know, that kneading thing on you, that comes from when they were kittens and they were getting milk from their mothers.
That's one theory. I think they just like to hurt the ones they love.
True story. No, that doesn't hurt.
It does if they knead on your bare skin with claws coming out as they press, which often they do.
Usually not.
It's about a 50-50
Or
chance.
that's why you get it on your pants, where you know the claws just go into the pants.
And Sparky Toaster did not learn anything tonight.
But
and we learned.
I'm thinking that he was trying to teach us about
pole dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And I learned that if the pole dancer goes on break and doesn't go back to pole dancing, that Sparky Toaster will stick with us to the end of the show. All right, thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
That's the show, and here comes the raid. So check out what Sarah Jazz is doing over there with her live.
The Donner Party, is that what you said?
The Connor Party.
Oh, okay, the Connor Party.
Yes. Similar, but not. Anyways, good night.
We're going to start the song off with our featured guest all the way from Philly. He's here visiting, got a couple shows with him to pay for his plane ticket. This is Al Smith back here in the percussion.
Everyone's calling you Red Hot Chili Monroe in the chat, by the way.
All right. That was a good show.
Hi, Red Hot Chili
They love
Monroe.
you.
Cool.